What is up guys? If you've been following me on Twitter then you will know that I have loads of Z270 motherboards in-house along with the new Kaby Lake processors. So with those there will be loads of reviews going forward and of course loads of builds, so definitely stay tuned for that, and if you aren't subscribed go ahead and hit that button now. So today we are going to look at the MSI Gaming M7, which is one of MSI's enthusiast boards, so it is pretty high end and aimed at those who are serious about gaming and overclocking etc. So let's jump in and take a closer look. First of all, let's start with what's in the box. So in the box you get all the usual manuals, the driver CD and quick start guides, along with an IO shield, 4 SATA cables, SATA labelling stickers, RGB extension cables, M connectors, and last of all an SLI bridge. So let's take a closer look at the motherboard, starting with the design. MSI usually opt for that iconic black and red colour scheme, but have this time chosen to go for a more neutral look, and I must say I absolutely love this approach, as you could go ahead and pop this into any build and it wouldn't look out of place. And usually you are stuck with either a black and red or a white and red colour scheme with MSI, so definitely they get a thumbs up from this. Of course this is 2017, so the motherboard does feature RGB lighting, which I will show you more of later on in the review. So one of the standout design elements of course is the heat shield covering the rear IO and the heat sinks covering the VRMs that will definitely get put to work when we start overclocking our CPU. Speaking of the CPU, the M7 still comes equipped with the LGA 1151 socket that will support both 6th and 7th generation Intel processors, and of course I will be testing the board out utilising my 7700K just to see how far we can actually push it. So next to the socket is of course the Dimm Slots, and MSI's Gaming M7 has 4 DDR4 Dimm Slots supporting dual channel memory with speeds up to a blistering 4000 MHz. The slots also feature chrome plating for EMI protection and most importantly looks. The Gaming M7 also comes equipped with 3 PCIe 3.0x16 expansion slots, but bear in mind the motherboard only supports 2-way SLI, but for AMD fans you can run 3-way Crossfire if you wish. The PCIe slots themselves also feature steel armour, which not only looks really nice but definitely helps eliminate GPU sag, and for someone like myself who uses the Zotac 1080 Extreme card, and if you haven't seen one then they are massive, then I can definitely testify that this does help eliminate the sag. It doesn't totally take it away, but it definitely helps as well. So taking a look at the sides of the PCIe slots, you will notice that there are plastic covers that do contain numbers if you like to keep track of your slots and what's in them, and they also have RGB lighting implemented, so I'm definitely looking forward to checking these out. If fast storage is your thing, then you'll be happy to know that in between each PCIe slot there is an M.2 slot, giving you a total of 3 to utilise, and they support drive sizes of 42, 60 and 80, so there is good variety here. MSI also allow you to pair 2 of these drives in RAID straight off the motherboard, making life so much easier and giving you plenty of options. As you can see, the middle M.2 slot features a metal shield, and honestly I didn't really see the benefit of this at first other than looking good, but it seems the guys over at bit.tech have done loads of testing and it looks like it definitely helps take the heat off your drive, so it definitely benefits you. So other storage options on the M7 board are 1 U.2 and 6 SATA free ports. Taking a look at the rear IO, we have 2 USB 2.0 ports, a PS2 port, clear CMOS button, a USB BIOS flashback port, 1 HDMI and 1 display port, 4 USB 3.1 ports, one of which is Type C, a killer LAN port, and gold plated audio connectors with SPDIF optical support. Taking a closer look at the top of the board, we do have a debug LED that will help with any issues that you may run into by providing an error code that you can go ahead and look up your manual or online, and it will tell you exactly what is wrong with the motherboard, so these are always handy to have. Onto the bottom right hand corner of the board and you will find a dedicated power and reset switch, along with an overclock button and dial that will turn on MSI's Gaming Boost software that you can configure via the BIOS. If you are new to overclocking, I would highly recommend that you stay well away from this to avoid running into any issues. When it comes to fan support, the Gaming M7 features one CPU header, one pump header and 4 system fan headers, so that should definitely be enough for most people's setups. Okay, so before we jump into the BIOS, let's go ahead and take a look at the RGB lighting. As you can see, there is plenty of lighting zones on the board without being totally overwhelming. I for one think it looks awesome. You can go ahead and control all of this using MSI's gaming app that allows you to select between 7 different colour options and 3 different effects that include flash, breathing and double flash, or you can completely disable them all if you wish. So hopping into the BIOS, everything is laid out very well, and if you want to use MSI's Game Boost, you will find those settings in the top right hand corner, and that will allow you to utilise the overclock button, but again I personally prefer the more traditional method of overclocking. So diving deeper into the BIOS, if you like overclocking then you will be happy, as overclocking your CPU and RAM on the Gaming M7 motherboard is a breeze, and I easily managed to get my 7700K to 5GHz using just 1.32 volts. I tested the stability using IDA 64 and several Cinebench runs and it remained completely stable, hitting temps no higher than 77 degrees, so I'm definitely impressed with what the MSI Gaming M7 has to offer. So as I mentioned, I will be posting a 7700K overclock guide within the next few weeks, so definitely stay tuned for that if you are interested. So that pretty much wraps up the review. I'm definitely impressed with what MSI have delivered here. This enthusiast grade board is packed with features, and honestly they have delivered a very nice looking board as well. I definitely dig this neutral colour scheme and very happy that they have moved away from that black and red, forcing people to go with that colour scheme in their build. So let me know what you think about that down below. As always guys, if you have any questions about this board at all, let me know down below and I will definitely get back to you. As always, stay safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace!
Du hast moderne Geheimnis.